Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, platforms like the Zone. Um, he come out. He said Michael Zerafa is deserving of the big fights. He backed him.
Yeah.
What does that what does that mean? This guy is a promoter that essentially sees what other promoters can't see, and
Well,
he
yeah.
puts on big shows, world class. So
Yeah.
what does that
I've
mean?
been before, like I've got the opportunity to work with him, when I fought Cal Brook and stuff. And, we're talking about a guy that's a multi-billionaire and done this for the majority of his life. This guy studies promoting, he's a businessman. And, he came out and backed me because what happens on the regular in the sport. Head clashes happen, no contests happen. But because of the way they painted me, it wasn't okay. Like I wasn't allowed to have an injury. I'm not allowed to, say that I can't continue or something's wrong or, and this is what's sad because, like you mentioned, the guys like Eddie Hearn or the big promoters have come out and said, mate, I don't get what your issue is. Like, get a rematch. Let's do it again. Like it happens. He mentioned multiple fighters that it's happened to, big names. That's the sport. You know, an article yesterday on Fox Sports said that Tim Tszyu should have, retired and not, and he would have still been a world champion. Jeff Fenech said it, but for me, I mean, it worked in my favor because all the comments were like, well, hang on a second, when Zerafa said it, you all had a crack at him. But I mean, that's what's hard about the whole situation. But I was grateful for Eddie. Me and Eddie talk, and we've had conversations, and yeah, like I'm grateful for him.
That's great, mate, and that's a testament to you and the reputation you've built. Um, you know, not just in Australia, but amongst the world's best.
Mm.
And I think there's been obviously a lot of talk about Eubank Junior fight, and that puts a smile to my face because I think in my opinion, winning Michael Zerafa needs to move on from Australian
Yeah.
fighting opponents in Australia, and we want to see you back, fighting, the Americans, the English names, and the big guys in the sport. Chris Eubank Jr. Man, he's a big name. Like he's beat, Conor Ben, um, Liam Smith. Like these guys are world class. He's been in with literally the best.
Mm.
So what does well, firstly, how close are we to that fight?
Look,
Can you tell us anything that we don't know?
I can't say too much, but we have a huge promoter interested. We got big government backing interested. We've got a meeting being scheduled. Um, his team's the hardest part's done in terms of he's agreed and I've agreed. Obviously it comes down to getting both teams to agree, and we've both agreed. We're both super keen. His management wants to fight, he said, and happy to come down to Melbourne, Australia, and actually two promoters, I should say, not one. I just remember there's two promoters. Yes, but the hard part's done. He's agreed, we've agreed, and I believe I beat him. I love being the underdog. Obviously, going into that fight, everyone will be against me, and that's okay. I enjoy that. I don't mind being the underdog because I feel like when I'm expected to win and it's an easy fight. I don't perform at the best. But when everyone's against me and like the Horn fight and the Hardman fight and the Cal Brook fight, everyone was against me, and I come out, proving people wrong and proving my worth. So we are super close. We are very close. And
I can't wait for that one, and
yeah,
you know, especially being in Melbourne. You know, for me, obviously I've been at a few of your fights, but um, that one is one we're not going to miss. So
huge.
I encourage the country to get behind you. You're our number one middleweight, still top 10 in the world. A fight like that, I think, moves your career forward in a massive way, and puts you on the verge of another world title tilt. So, um, mate, eager to see that one get locked in, and um, back you to win that fight and win it well, and I think you can. Mate, as we wrap up, I just, we've talked about the fights and the journey and things like that, and some of the stuff you've been through. And I appreciate you taking the time. We've almost been on